movie is really made for the whole family. Spider-Man is a comic book because of, I think in Stan Lee's original conception, he was a real human being. And so it really broadened out the base of people that could appreciate comic books. I think it completely changed the demographic at that point, because suddenly he was a real character with a love relationship, and sometimes two, and he had family problems. It wasn't just about beating the strong guy. It was about a real human being. So I think that we're trying to make the picture appeal to an intelligent audience so that adults can really enjoy it, but at its heart, it'll have a lot of fun and excitement and adventure that the kids will also enjoy. We've decided to get back to the classical look of the red and blue Spider-Man, but Jim has decided to update it, just to bring it into the year 2002 when the picture opens. Well, to add some dimensionality to it, to take a slightly more subtle approach with the coloration of the outfit, to increase the flexibility. Well, this is now different than other types of films, as opposed to the classic look, but
I think I can especially relate to Spider-Man, that side of my character, because I feel like a superhero in general in my life. No, I think he's a great character, and one of the main themes, which is with great power comes great responsibility, and I think there's great power in just being alive and being a human being, and I think within that there's great responsibility. Every day that I wake up, I have a responsibility to myself and to others to live an estimable life and to be an example for people around me.
I think of my role in this movie as Norman Osborn first, and the Green Goblin grows out of an aspect of Norman Osborn. And Norman Osborn is an interesting character because he's got a dark side and a light, positive side. He believes in science. He's interested in developing the physical and mental capabilities of a human being through science. And there's a dark side to that and a light side, and the Green Goblin is the manifestation of that dark side. And it's interesting.
Oh, I think it's definitely a story that everyone will be able to relate to, because it has a heart to it, you know, and people will, you know, Mary Jane, Spider-Man, they're both heroes in this film, and Mary Jane, I want the girls in the movie, the little girls, to look up to her, because there's such a growth that she goes throughout the movie, and she really finds herself, so I hope that young girls will be able to look up to Mary Jane for that.
I read all the comics I could, especially the ones that are pertinent to this story, where that was these episodes or the issues that the story was based on. And Harry has somewhat of an arc there, but the thing about it, Harry is a smaller character and wasn't developed as much, so Sam and I have a lot of leeway to further develop him and build a background to him, and in that way I was allowed more creative.
The technology that's available is, as we all know, enormous. And I guess the challenge for the filmmaker is to use it in an effective fashion. And being part of a team such as this, I feel as though I can't go wrong. So we're going to enhance and help along the spirit and the soul of Spider-Man, where if for physical reasons we fall short. And I think it will be indistinguishable from reality. I think perhaps Superman was it was a great job at the time, but I think that the audience has become much more sophisticated and much more adept at determining what's real and what's an illusion, and that's our challenge. And I believe that you will be hard-pressed to tell the places where we've helped reality a little bit. But we will press the limits. We're going to do things that haven't been done in a movie before. I'm just loath to tell you, because then you'll look for them.
For example, there's a thing called a bolus spider that creates a little web and then throws it in the air, and then the wind takes it along and it uses it as part of transportation. And there's lots of spiders that do all kinds of weird stuff like that. Thank you.
Well, like any director directing Spider-Man, of course I've studied the fighting techniques of all of the different genuses of spider. I don't want to embarrass you with my knowledge of them.
here in front of the press. I think it's just best to say that we've examined that particular genus species and are thinking about it. I don't want to reveal too much of the picture.